I didn't introduce Rosa before because I wanted to save her for something kind of special. Rosa has played practically every show there ever was, I guess. And at one time, I remember I was working with Rosa. She had a studio in a show in a studio adjoining mine. And she used to run in at a break on her show and get notes from me, then play her show, and she had 30 seconds to get to my studio to go on for the next one. And so we used to have everything ready, the doors open and the organ going, and this is a very great lady, and I'd like you all to applaud Miss Rosa Reed. Another marvelous thing about Rosa is she knows what you want before you do, and she always makes you look so good. Okay. Now again, Mr. George Ansbro is going to announce the Falcon, but it begins first with the Falcon himself.
I just want to say this, that at the end of Ethel and Albert, or any other soap opera in those old days, I would be very busy, even at this point, doing about 3 pages of live commercial announcements, right? And during that time, the actors would all scramble out of the studio to go to wherever their next particular show was. It could be down the hall at NBC, or others would go across town to CBS or whatnot. And so we're going to relive those days, except we're going to do it by magic. We're just going to say, presto, now we go from Ethel and Albert to the Falcon.
My name is Mike Waring. Some people call me the Falcon, but that's only when I'm working on a case. I don't know if I'm supposed to feel flattered by that name or not. I do know that right now it's not important because I've packed in my crime kit for a well-deserved vacation. A cruise around the world on a tramp steamer for as long as it takes. Either to go around the world or to get bored, whichever comes first. At least that's the way I planned it. What I didn't know was that at the very moment I was closing my trunk with all the books in it that I've been wanting to read for the past 2 years and relishing the thoughts of tranquility, a little drama was taking place in a hotel across town that would alter my direction. For the time being, anyway.
May, sir. Can I clean your room now? Oh, help! Help! There's a dead man in 318.
Tonight, Mike Waring as the Falcon in A Little Knowledge. A case unlike those he was used to handling, but one that had him puzzled until he could find the solution.
That's right. My phone rang, and like an idiot, I answered it. I could have kicked myself as soon as I did because it was the manager of the hotel where the dead man had been discovered. It seems the problem was that no one could identify the corpse. The manager had a body without a name in his hotel, and he was frantic. He was hoping I could do something to keep the news of this nameless intruder out of the papers. Of course, I couldn't. Permission was needed from the next of kin for an autopsy to determine the cause of death. So the mystery man's picture went into the afternoon editions, and we waited to see who would claim him. Funny, he didn't look like a monster. He was a corpse, and his victims were still alive. But he had the power to hurt and go on hurting where the bruises never showed. For a dead man, he was capable of causing a lot of grief.
Martha, you're home.
Oh, Annie, is that you? Come in, dear. I have some nice non-fattening coffee cake.
Are you alone?
Uh-huh, till school lets out.
You ought to lock your door. Anyone might walk in.
Well, good. I'm lonesome.
Have you seen the paper today?
No, not yet. Sit down, Annie.
No, you sit down. Maybe it'd be better if I read this to you.
Why all the mystery?
Oh, Martha. Here, listen to this.
Do you know this man? Mystery death in hotel room. Anyone having information about this man should telephone police.
Let me see. Malcolm. Malcolm. Do they mean he's dead?
Cry. Don't cry. Let yourself go. Even for him.
Malcolm, my husband's dead. Alone in a hotel room.
Yes. But what was he doing there when he should have been home? Who gave him permission to walk in and out of your life for years and years? Where was he the last 2 months without a word?
I don't know and I don't care. It's not important now. Hotel.
Oh, I wish you'd cry. I wish even I could cry. But I couldn't forgive him.
Oh, I pray he'll forgive me.
For what? Being too good a wife?
Now stop. No more of that. Not ever again. Malcolm is dead.
So close my big mouth.
Annie, don't be angry with me. Don't. You're a good friend. I need your understanding.
Oh, I wish I did understand you. But I love you. Like a little daughter. I'll call the police. You don't have to do that.
No, don't call them.
But they have to find out who Malcolm is. And I'll go with you to talk to him. You won't be alone.
Tina.
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about her. Well, I'd better wait here.
Oh.
That'll be another heartbreak. No, please, don't faint. But just lie down here. Yeah, that's it now. Here, let me cover your legs. Now, try not to think. Just rest. There's nothing more you can do for Malcolm. It's been done.
Yes, it's done. Malcolm, I wonder if you're listening. If you can hear me, try to understand why I did it, Malcolm. I couldn't let you go, my love. I couldn't let you go.
Well, now at least we knew the corpse's name. Malcolm Higgert. But I didn't know what to make of his widow, Martha, who identified the body. She was a small woman. She seemed frightened and lost. And she told me he owed no large sums of money. He had no insurance. Now, that didn't seem to bother her, but something was bothering her. I could feel it. Little Martha was evading me, and I was sure I'd find out why after she signed for the autopsy. So I decided to press. I went to see her.
I met my husband at the complaint counter of a department store. See, I was having trouble returning a purchase, and Malcolm took charge. I'm always inadequate in situations like that. I'm dependent. I'm passive psychologically.
Who told you that?
Oh, Malcolm did. He used to meet people like me in his work every day.
What work was that?
Oh, didn't I mention it? Malcolm gave character tests for Hale, Wingate, and Zacharias. He had a nice office in the personnel department. They used his findings to decide whether people applying for jobs should be hired, whether they were psychologically right, I mean.
You could make a lot of enemies on a job like that.
Well, I don't know anything about that. I only know Malcolm was considered an expert on personality classification. He told me so.
The janitor says he hadn't been living at home.
Well, the janitor's wrong. It was Malcolm's habit to change his environment from time to time. See, when he felt pressured or creatively stifled, he'd go away for a while. But he always sent me money, and he always came home. Except this time.
Wasn't that an unusual arrangement?
Well, it was. Malcolm was an unusual man.
And did he often feel pressure?
He said so.
Which pressure made him commit suicide?
You know he committed suicide?
No, we don't. There's not a mark on him, is there? I'm sorry, Mrs. Higgert. We were unable to determine the cause of your husband's death until we perform an autopsy. We need your authorization. You can sign right here.
Oh, no, I can't.
Can't?
I can't.
Don't you want to comply with the law?
No, it's not that. Yes, I don't know what I mean.
You have something to tell me? I'll listen.
No, please, go ahead with the autopsy. You'll find it's suicide, or what the law calls suicide, but it's murder. And I did it. Oh, I didn't kill him outright. I killed him by inches, a little bit at a time. Every day that I clung to him and refused to set him free.
He wanted to divorce you?
Oh, I'm sure he did. Look at me. What do you see? Could you give a description of me? Malcolm once called me a little brown wren. Like so many things he said, it was cruel but accurate. Yeah, a little brown wren. That's me. Afraid of situations, shy with people, afraid of my own shadow. That's me, all right. Just the opposite of what my husband wanted and needed in a wife.
He didn't tell you that.
Well, he didn't need to. I could see the things he admired in other women. This one met life on its own terms. That one was courageous and emancipated. Another one was witty and smart. He wanted a partner, an equal. Look, am I tall? He loved tall women. Am I glamorous? That's funny. Am I redheaded? Do I have any of the qualities he admired? That's why he stayed away from me when I became too possessive. There's the truth. Listen, I loved him with a selfish love. A love not big enough to let him go. I could sense his unhappiness, and I'm not surprised he took the only way out that was left. Now, do you want the murderers to sign the permission for an autopsy?
Mike, can I bother you a minute?
Now, come in, Matt. It was Lieutenant Matt Wills, one member of the police department who always cooperated with me, even against his judgment. He was a good cop and a good friend.
There's someone out there who insists on seeing you right away.
All right. Take Mrs. Haggard into the next room. I think there's a couch in there. And don't worry, Mrs. Haggard. I'm sure everything will be all right.
Yeah, right there, right this way, Mrs. Haggard. I'll be right with you, Mike.
Come in.
Are you the Falcon?
Yes, I am.
The lieutenant took my address and told me to wait across the hall. But that was a long time ago.
What can I do for you?
Well, it's the other way around. I came to do something for you. And I had a hard time finding you. They sent me from department to department. What's the idea?
I don't know, miss.
You asked me to come in.
In reference to what?
In reference to the picture in this afternoon's paper. The mystery man. And it's not Miss. I'm Mrs. Mrs. Malcolm Haggard, the wife and the widow.
The wife and the widow. That's what the lady said. I certainly couldn't take her word for it without proof. The question was, if she had the proof, who was Martha?
I don't understand your attitude, Mr. Deering.
That's Waring, Mike Waring.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Waring. There's something about you and the lieutenant that's hostile. Now, I've shown you all the cards in my wallet. I've proved who I am, and I'm upsetting you. Why? I am the one who should be upset. Now, where's my husband's body, and why haven't you taken me to see him?
He isn't here. He's already been identified by a relative.
In this town? I never knew Malcolm had any family here.
How much did you know about your husband, Mrs. Haggard?
There you go again, hostile. I don't like the sound of that question. I'm not here to be questioned. I'm here for answers. Now, what about Malcolm? What happened? How did he die?
We think it's suicide.
I don't. Not Malcolm. Did you check his wallet? Maybe he was robbed and killed.
No.
Well, you seem to have made up your mind pretty fast. I think I'd better get a lawyer before I talk anymore.
Now, calm down, Mrs. Haggard. Nobody's hiding anything. We just don't know. Now, if you'll sign an order authorizing an autopsy on him.
Oh, cut him up? Oh, Lord, no, I can't. Not my Malcolm. I'm not... Oh, I think I'm going to be sick.
Here, have some water.
Thank you. I'm sorry I came on so strong. If you knew how I felt when I saw his picture in the paper, the pit of my stomach was like an elevator going up. I know I don't look like everybody's idea of a grieving widow, but that's what I am. He was the only person who ever took an interest in me, in the real me, Lila. Oh, I know how I look. Men like it, but that's that business. I was a model, and now I'm trying to be an actress. I was a blonde, and now I'm a redhead, but none of that matters. You see, I was drifting until I met my husband. Drifting. I was shipwrecked a couple of times. Malcolm explained it. He explained me to myself psychologically. It made so much sense. I was learning from him or trying to learn. Why am I talking to you? I want to see him. I don't care if you have him packed in ice in a drawer. I want to see him. And I want to see who identified him. That was my right. It was mine.
We had no way of knowing he was married to you.
Well, didn't that relative tell you? Oh, I was right. Something is rotten in this setup. Now, I want to see Malcolm. I'll stand here, and I'll yell until I do. Do you hear that? Do you hear that?
What's wrong? You're all screaming. Is it something about Malcolm?
Oh, Malcolm. Yes, it's about Malcolm. The Gestapo here won't let me see my husband's body. Now, I demand that somebody call Charlie King. He's my lawyer.
But
call
who
him.
are you?
I'm Lila Heggert, Mrs. Malcolm Heggert, and I'll scream until I get some action.
No, there must be some mistake.
Are you all right, Mrs. Heggert?
Are you talking to me or to her?
This is it. Ladies, Martha, Lila, you're both married to the same man. Whatever else Malcolm Heggert may have been, he was a bigamist.
So you're saying he was married to her? My husband, Malcolm?
Right.
Why, you will eat those lies in court when I see my lawyer.
I'd advise you to see him. Find out where you stand legally.
Why don't you tell her that? She's the one who's making up the lies.
Heggert, when were you married to Malcolm?
Why should I tell you?
I need to know.
I'll bet you do. Then you'll claim you were married first. I don't believe you ever knew my husband.
He has a scar below his left shoulder. It's like a half moon. He fell through a window as a child and had 12 stitches in it.
No.
Yes. When he was annoyed, he'd play a Brahms concerto over and over till he wanted to break the record. He wouldn't eat rye bread. He wouldn't wear darn socks. He read late at night, always psychology books. But did he ever let you dust those books or arrange them? You know he didn't.
I'm not listening.
Yes, you are. You know I'm Malcolm's wife, too. We had a long time together. Now, he married me 12 years ago. When did he marry you? Tell me. All right. I'll wait. Oh, please. Please don't take everything away from me. Leave me something. Look, you're tall, you're beautiful, you're confident. I know why he wanted you. What man wouldn't? I can't compete with you. I wouldn't try, but I've got to know when he married you. Let me at least have that.
Please, Mrs. Heggert, don't.
Oh, so you think she has a prior claim, too. But she's not sure. Just look at her, shaking and trembling.
I beg you, I plead with you.
Now, look, I'm going home. Don't try to get in touch with me, or I'll have you arrested in spite of your detective friends. You little ones, you get away with murder, but not this time. I won't sign anything, and you're stuck, aren't you? You'll just have to leave it the way it is, in a mess. Well, tough luck on you.
Don't let her go. Bring her back.
She won't tell you anything. But if they were married in this town, we'll find out when it happened.
Well, suppose they were married somewhere else. I can't wait till you track that down. I can't wait a minute. I have a child. Tina's my daughter. But what else is she? Has she a father to call her own? Has she a name? Can you tell me that? Oh, Tina. Oh, Tina. Well, you did a good job on the table, Tina. But didn't you forget something?
Well, I fixed the flowers. I put on candles. I put out the fancy dessert dishes. I think it looks super, Mama.
Napkins?
Oh, yes.
Well, baby, how was today?
Oh, I had a good day for a change. The homework was right after all, even the third problem. Remember how long that took me? I almost knew how I got the answer after Miss Langley explained it. I made some coffee, Mama. Annie helped me. Would you like to try it? It's probably awful.
Oh, no, coffee would be fine, dear.
Can we talk about him? I saw the picture in the paper.
Where?
In school. I didn't cry. I said he was a cousin.
Oh, Tina.
Why did he do it, Mama?
Don't say he. Say my father.
My father? Sometime.
Always.
When he was here.
Oh, I wish you could remember the good times. You were too young. But we'll talk about them. I want you to know your family.
No. You're all the family I need.
No, never say that.
I'm sorry. What did I say?
I'm not enough. I'm nobody to look up to. I'm not even adequate. Last night when you came to me with your homework, I couldn't help you. Your father would have helped you. He was brilliant. People were drawn to him. No wonder that when he met her, she...
She what?
Oh, bring me the coffee, baby.
Okay. But first, Mama, I want you to know that I love you a lot.
Oh, and I love you too, Tina. You'll see how much.
Lady, want to get killed?
Is this Mrs. Malcolm Haggert's address? Yes, she's expecting me. 3rd floor, thank you.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Get out.
No, I'm coming in. Stop!
How'd you find me? I'm not in the phone book. Oh, I know. Those dirty, rotten police detectives. Well, you're in. So how do you like it? Our place. Mine and Malcolm's.
Malcolm likes these colors. You've used them well.
Yes, he said I had a creative flair. I'll bet he never said that to you.
Mrs.
Oh,
Haggert.
cut it out. You just want me to call you that. And I won't play games.
Lila, I have something to tell you. Now, I don't want you to be angry with me.
No? Well, I'm not handing out any forgiveness. That's your bit, Saint Martha. Sweet Martha the martyr.
Look at this picture.
Oh.
Now, this is our child. Malcolm's and mine. See, Tina is going to be somebody someday. All she needs is self-confidence. She's easily hurt. Oh, she tries to cover up by pretending she doesn't feel anything at all. She found out about Malcolm's death in school. Now, isn't that horrible? This is the beginning of such a hard time for her. Please, please, don't add to her handicap. Don't poison her life.
Why not? Mine's gone down the drain.
But this is only a child. Isn't it enough that her father is dead? Must she suffer any more?
That again. Why don't you make a song out of it? Something like, oh, tell me when Malcolm gave you his name. Oh, say if my daughter is a child of shame. It's very, very...
you stop that filth.
Now, sticks and bones.
You're wrong. Names can't hurt. Words can kill.
If they could, you wouldn't be standing here.
Say what you want. Do what you like, but tell me. Now tell me for my child's life. I've got to be sure.
Forget it. Sweat it out.
You tell me if I have to claw your eyes
Stop
out.
that.
If your neck out. If I have to kill you.
Leave me alone.
Take your hands off of me. No.
Grab her.
No, grab her.
Stop.
I followed you home. I followed you here. I kept honking my car horn, but you wouldn't stop. Lila, what did you do to her?
What did I do to her? Well, I did what any red-blooded underdog would do. She came here with all the aces in her pocket to grind the last little bit of self-respect out of me. Oh, she's a legal wife and her kid's a legal kid, all right, but why shouldn't she suffer like I'm doing? 6 years ago, I married Malcolm. I turned myself inside out to make him happy because I loved him. That's right, inside out, because he wanted to change me. Oh, he dug me at first, but after a while I started to hear about his ideal woman. She was not aggressive, not competitive, not forward, not an exhibitionist like Lila. I thought she was something in his imagination, but there she stands. Little Miss Martha Muffet, the woman who knows a woman's place, the shy angel, quiet comforter, the little mother, the little cream.
You thought I was Malcolm's ideal woman? Who told you that?
Who was so unhappy with what he called my emasculation tactics that he ran away from me and killed himself in a hotel room. That's who. I hated you the moment I saw you, Martha.
We never signed that autopsy permission, did we? Either of us. Well, I'll sign it now.
Well, the autopsy didn't really matter anymore, although the law required that there be one. I had located a doctor who had treated Malcolm for years. Malcolm had had a very serious heart condition, and it was just a matter of time before the end came for him, and the beginning for Martha and Lila, the beginning of a new life for both of them. Malcolm knew he was dying when he went to that hotel with no identification. It was just another card in the game he loved to play, a game he'd always won before. But this time, Martha and Lila were the winners because at long last, they were free. Now for that cruise. Not the same one that left a couple of weeks ago, but the trunk is still packed, and the books are still there. And this time, if the phone rings, I'm not going to answer it. Good night, folks.